Now we're gonna go in part three. Now we've seen people talk about being in a finance position and going, trying to marry the tech together with their business and their industry. But now we're gonna go into part three. We're gonna be looking at tech people embarking into finance. So the other way around. Now the next speaker, he has more than 14 years of expertise in the field of providing innovative technology for the financial and payment industry, all right? He is the founder of SoftSpace. Ladies and gents, please give a round of applause to Mr. Chang Chew Soon.
Hi, my name is Chew Soon. Some of you guys already know me. So I normally like to start my presentation with a video, and all the videos that we use to show in our presentations are all done by our clients. And I wanted to show the Hong Leong version, but luckily I didn't because somebody else showed it, so I'll show the other one. Let me try. Correct. Right.
Many things are simplified to make life easier. And your business is made easier with Plug and Pay. With Plug and Pay, you innovate your business for a bigger advantage. By giving your customer options when making credit or debit card payments with just a tap. And giving you the freedom to expand your business anywhere. Plus giving you both added security through multiple payment verification options. So propel your business with a mobile, convenient and secure payment solution. Plug and Pay by C&D Bank. Get yours now.
Great. This is our clientele. We present in 10 countries, about 19, 20 operational sites. We actually license to our competitors, but we're not allowed to show here. So what I can show here is actually our current clientele. If you can see, we are mainly active only in Asia, nowhere else. The furthest we've ever been was actually Australia and New Zealand, but the transactions there are not really high because the infra there is really good and there wasn't a lot of inefficiencies we can address. But we currently have the largest clientele in Thailand. I can only list out the ones that's really live, but I think probably next year we can announce probably 100% market share coverage in Thailand because that's where we started out. Okay, no, that's right. So I want to tell you a bit about how the company started. I started this company because of my dad. And for the longest time, he was trying very hard to get a payment machine, from the bank. And obviously, he runs a small motorcycle spare part business. So he relies on salesmen to collect cash on the spot while delivering goods. The banks actually deem my dad not the kind of people that they want to do business with, or not on the priority list. So one day I went home, for dinner. I tried to make it a habit to go back earlier, and I see this very sad look on his face. Some of you might already heard the story before. The same kind of look that, same disappointed look when he was called to the school when I skipped school last time. Same disappointed look. So I asked, Pa, what happened? He said, well, there was this salesman who worked for us for about 7 years, and he ran away with about $100,000 cash because he didn't turn up to work for about a week. And then when we checked, and they claimed that he has took the money, but he didn't bank in. So obviously there must be something that we can do, to address problems like this. And that was back in 2012. I was totally clueless about a company called Square or iZettle, and I had no idea these companies exist. So when I found out, I tried to contact them and ask them whether they can license their solutions to us so I can bring it here. They refused to. By the way, Square couldn't process chip cards like what we have in Malaysia now. So that's how the company started. So I decided to start a company, and we built it ourselves, in-house. Quickly, we are a 4-year-old company, and our solution is definitely EMV fully approved. EMV stands for Europay, Master, and Visa. JCB, Amex, Diners, CUP, all of them are within the association. As far as we are aware today, we process EMV on the cloud. And there's only another company in the whole world that does it. It's called iZettle from Sweden. And if today you look at us, we actually sit on the board of EMV Co. So we have a technical associate seat and a business associate seat, which means today we sit along with the likes of Amex, Master Visa, Verizon, Bank of America, and we draft the next generation payment specifications. So often we have to go meetings here and there. Like for example, right now we are drafting, trying to draft the specifications for 3D Secure 2.0, which means that 1.0 is how you buy things online. You enter a 16-digit number, expiry date, and then you wait for the one-time PIN to come, right? So we are working on version 2.0. Version 1.0 used to be driven by Visa, but EMV Co decided that we're going to take it back and we'll drive it. So these are some of the things that we're working on. So normally they don't give the memberships to startups, mostly banks, telcos, big organizations that has it. So I guess we were lucky, and we didn't have to pay. My colleagues, some of them are certified PCI professionals because of the line of business that we do. We have to, know what we say, and it's all about compliance, security, banking stuff. I'm very grateful for the Malaysian government, MIDA, because they gave us $506 million US dollars of R&D grant. So this allows us to actually build a lot of stuff, and as of today, we are privately funded. We have not raised a single cent, no from VCs, no private investors, no nothing. I started the company thanks to my angel investor, Tan Sri Vincent Lee. So he gave me my 2 million ringgit check. After talking to him about like 2 hours, and 3 weeks later the check came, and that's how the company started. Yeah. Some awards that we won, well, awards mainly to me, it's for exposures and stuff, but if it doesn't help you bring in the money, then there's no point winning a lot of awards. Okay, I was asked to share what kind of challenge that we face when we go into this. There's a lot of challenge. 4 years ago, when we first started, I spoke to all the 10 banks in Malaysia, 6 foreign banks. I can tell you, none of them actually believe in what we do. None, okay? As a matter of fact, there's one bank, without naming the bank, I managed to get a meeting presentation at 32nd floor in the board meeting room. 5 minutes into the presentation, they asked me, Chew Soon, you can start packing your stuff and you can go. I said, why? I haven't even started yet. At least, can you please let me finish? He said, no, you know what? Just because, if every merchant, the reason why we got a meeting is because one of our client wanted to use a solution and they needed a bank to provide it to them. So they forced the bank to give us a meeting. So the bank said, if every merchant comes and talk to us that they want this, then we have to entertain. Obviously, then we won't have the time. We've got a business to run here. Well, great. Well, fine. Thank you very much. I pack up my stuff. What made it worse was that they had a fire drill that day. I had to walk 30 over floors down using the stairs. And as of every floor I start, to descend, I was like thinking to myself and my colleagues, what the heck have we done that we deserve to be treated like that? I don't know. But thanks to MasterCard, Visa, and all these people, the regional people, they saw us and said, look, you know what, Chew Soon, before we met you, you can't blame the banks. Before we met you, we met close to 40 different companies who claim they can do what you do, but they don't have the certification. So sometimes, you can't blame the banks for being skeptical. But you know what? Since the only guy, back in 2012 and 2013, would take you on a road show. So they brought us to Thailand. We signed our very first bank, largest acquiring bank in Thailand, Kasikorn, and yeah, the rest was history. So that's how I landed all my banks. As you know, banks, right? Some of them, they don't want to lead, they want to observe, oh, this guy, if it's good enough for him, then it's good enough for us, and that's how the whole thing started. As a Malaysian, just imagine how I felt, I couldn't launch in my home country, I had to launch somewhere else before I came in. Yeah. The other challenge was, when you try to convince the banks to use the solution, they always start with this question. Who are you? Who's your client? How much money do you have? Because if we go bust, who's going to support us? They have a lot of IT risk compliance to be adhered to. I understand, I agree. But my answer was, Mr. Customer, you were once also a small bank, right? I mean, you grow big. So everybody started somewhere. So I just wanted you to give me a chance to prove what I got all the right certifications. I met someone from Maybank, Mr. Mustafa, he left, but he shook my hands. I told him I'm actually going to tell a story. I took 3 years to close Maybank. 3 years. 2012 was the year I met them. 2015 was the year they launched. So some banks take 3 years, some banks take 3 months. Well, each to their own. So I guess the challenges is that not only you have to convince them, you have to talk to the right crowd, and then after that, they're going to ask for the budget, take 6 months, and then after that, they have to do the ROI and stuff like that. And that's why that's the main challenge. And I believe it's a lot of fintechs will be facing the same problem. So probably they end up, we should just go out and just challenge the banks directly. But that's not our model. Since day one, we always believe in working with the banks. We do not believe in going out and just competing with the banks directly, because at the end of the day, I believe fintech should basically address inefficiencies where the banks couldn't, fill in the gap until they are there. Then we should go and look for some other places to address. You have to be very flexible in your business model as well. One of the key challenges we found was, because I told the banks I want to share profit. So for every dollar that you process, I want to take a cut. But the whole idea is that you must be flexible in your business model, and I think that's how we sort of landed more and more banks. But eventually, I think 90% of our contracts now on revenue share, so we get a cut from every transaction, because they realize by paying a licensing fee, in the long run, because the system needs to be up, you need to have more features and stuff like that, they realize that you're going to pay a lot more in the future. So it's smart to actually go into revenue share. In order to be able to continue to serve the banks, you have to stay relevant, which means that we started off by doing mobile payments, but a lot of things that we don't communicate on our website because of NDAs and stuff but I'm going to share it today because we cleared it. And you probably will be surprised to find out that this is probably what you think we do, right? So we provide payment devices, on the front end. Right? This is probably what you think we do. If you look at our website, look at my Facebook page, some of the things I post, this is what we do. But actually, we do a lot more than that. This probably covers like 20% of what we actually do. If you actually take a train, through KLIA Express, and the underlying contactless technology is also powered by us, do you know that? If you take a plane from Asia, say from KL, I got 5 minutes left. I'm trying to move very fast. But can you give me some minutes because of the, yeah. So Asia, if you take a flight from KL to Shenzhen, right, if you buy something, in the plane, this is actually what we did with Hong Leong Bank, with Asia. But the difference is that this is an online transaction because the plane has Wi-Fi. It's not offline. And in order to get this done, we have to clear a lot of departments. DCA, Department of Civil Aviation. We have to clear the bank's internals, IT security, master, visa. We have to rewrite the entire pre-board, post-board, risk management. We have to link to the passenger system, so that the whole idea is that when the passenger leaves the plane, there will be no counterfeit cards or blacklisted cards that's being used. Because if you do it in normal planes, there's no internet connection, right? So they won't know whether the card is actually a counterfeit card. But this is actually full online. And we've even programmed the system to be able to make it so flexible that it flies through certain black spots, connection drop, and it will restore again, and it will handle it gracefully. Petrol stations also use our solution. The client is actually in Thailand, and it's Nippon Express. So what happens is this. Nippon Express had a co-branding card with the largest acquiring bank in Thailand, which is Kasikorn Bank. And what they do is actually the driver, every day before they leave the warehouse, they're going to pump petrol, right? So they show the card, and then with the ID, then they activate the pump. The problem is, when nobody's looking, they'll take out an empty barrel, and then they start filling in. So obviously, this is not doing well for Nippon Express, right? I mean, they're hemorrhaging money every month, right? So they told the bank, said, look, I got to stop the program unless you do something about it. So the bank called us and said, can you guys do something for us? I really, really don't want to lose this client. I don't want to lose this client not because I process a lot of billions of transactions for them. I don't want to lose this client is because we had corporate banking relationship with them. We manage their entire cash, and all the money. So if they don't use us, they're gonna take the money somewhere else. We're gonna lose out. I don't really care about the money that we're gonna lose on the acquiring side. So we say, great. We send up the team. We look at the whole thing, and this is what we came out. So we work with the largest oil and gas company in Thailand called PTT. And the product is called Fill and Go. So what happens is that we actually, put in an RFID ring into the petrol gas tank, the cap there. And we put in an RFID reader. So this acts like your credit or debit card, or it ties to your bank account. So all you have to do is just drive the car there. They don't have to do anything. Take the nozzle, put it in. After 2 seconds, it authorizes. Then it starts flowing petrol, right? If you try to steal petrol, they take it out halfway, it will cut up. I actually have a video to show, but I hope it will work if you can help me click that small little, thing up there. The one there, yeah, then the video will play. Could you help me do that? Yeah, right. So 2 red blinks, and then the petrol starts flowing. That's it. We also integrate to a lot of third-party apps, insurance and stuff like that. I'm running out of time, so I'm really gonna blaze this through. If you've been to Sakai Sushi, you will have seen. I don't know. They just don't like me, right? Can we? Oh yeah, great. So we did this back in 2012. I like to showcase this because while we were waiting for EMV certification, we're a startup, like we got a bootstrap. So I went to the CEO of Sakai and said, look, throw away all your current physical menu, replace it with the iPad. So if today you go there, you're using the iPad, that system is actually by SourceBase. But we don't do it, it's not one of our product, we just do it for fun, right? But there's a reason why we did it. So because of that, the sales increase, because when you shoot it using high-res cameras, you crank up the brightness, everybody starts ordering, and and it's so seamless. So the problem came because they only had one credit card machine in the counter. So during peak hours, they have to queue all the way from the kitchen, all the way from the counter to the kitchen. That's why they put us in front of the bank, where the bank threw us out after 5 minutes. So CIMB was very smart. They went in and they told them that, you know what, we're going to replace, we're going to put a audio jet reader in every single iPad, then you can process the payment on the spot. You don't even have to leave your table. So that's how that bank lost this merchant. It's also replicated in Indonesia, but Indonesia, because it's a chip and pin market, so we have a different reader, but the whole idea was the same. You can print out if you want to. We integrated to a lot of cash registers, point of sale systems. I recently find out very interesting, a lot of cloud-based point of sale companies, they call themselves fintech companies as well. I personally think that everyone who actually plays in the ecosystem, they're part of the whole community. I'm very happy to meet a lot of them, people here. Ticketing kiosk, in order to complete the ordering system, the selling of tickets for gantry. Some of the innovations that we are doing right now behind the scene, a lot of people like to use QR code, right? But we are really taking it to the next level. We are using animated QR, which means that you can actually stream data live by moving the QR in a code in a certain sequence, and we will pick it up. No lag in performance. So which means that if QR code is static, but this is dynamic, right? Some of the things that we have done, we integrated the parking system. So this is actually more interesting because we actually replicated the entire Apple Pay without paying Apple a single cent. We bypassed the entire whole NFC thing. And so it works on Android, it works on any phone, but without the need of NFC. But it gives you the whole Apple Pay experience. I'm almost done. Yes, I'm done. I don't think we have time to take questions. But if you give me 2 more minutes, I know the whole country is going into chip and pin, and I'm not trying to scare you. I found this from the internet. I just wanted to share. I want to teach you how to steal a pin. Yeah. All you have to do is buy this thermal camera casing that fits into your iPhone. It's about $350 US, right? So once you plug it in and you put it, you point it to a person, this is what you see. So when someone enters a pin on a pin pad, one of these terminals, which is I think I took out the brand, but if you look at it, 99% of all the terminals out there are using these rubberized plastic pin pads, right? And this is what you see if you actually point the casing over. So it leaves behind signatures, hit signatures, and from this, I think it doesn't take a genius to figure out what's the pin, right? Of course, but don't feel bad, don't feel hopeless. There are ways to combat this. So you can actually cover, certain portion of pin pad while you enter the pin. Honestly, I don't know who will actually really do that when they are actually entering the pin, but that's another way. Yep, that's how it looks like. The good news is that certain ATMs, they uses a metal pin pad, then that device is actually not effective because actually it deflects heat. right? So, but of course, the other way that we told the banks, just use a silicone spray, spray over the pin pad, wait till it's dry, then your problem is solved. You don't really have to go about and start replacing all the pin pads. Yep, that's how it looks like. So, thank you very much.